So today we're going to be doing 4 possibility pouches by Cherishing Today. So I have cut those out, I have marked my boxed corners, and I've put vinyl on 2 of them, and I have my tag ready to sew on the others. I've got my back, my zips, 2 strips for each one of, I'm using this metallic vinyl, and the pattern she suggests using jelly vinyl, which we can't get in New Zealand, and 2 lots of double-sided tape. So these are a little bit different to the size in the pattern, so you can cut them at any size you want. Just make sure it's up the right way when you do this. The only thing you need to keep in mind is that you want the front the same width and 2 inches shorter. I've boxed these at 1 1/4. For a bigger one, I'd probably go to 1 1/2. Anyway, let's get on and sew those. So I'll finish preparing I'll do my fronts, or put my labels on those first, and then we'll go through putting our zips on. And back into the hole where you started. So I pull these through because we've got clear vinyl. Knot them at the back. Looks like I have split my thread. That's okay. Three times. Now you obviously don't need to put a logo on them. You don't need to put any words on them. But I quite like them with something on the front. Okay, so whereabouts? Some lighter. New lighter, and it's got stickers all over it. So if you're going to be doing your edges, make sure your vinyl is well out of your way. Okay. So that's all our fronts. Now I'll prepare all my zips. So these are zips from my website. So I have my electric, which is kind of cool. This is a spare bit, so I'll just tape the length I need. So just tape along the edge. Now obviously you don't need to use tape, you can just sew it. But I find with the clear vinyl, it makes it much easier if you tape it. This is Jester. I think this is so fun, this zip. And it's got rainbow teeth, so you can put any zipper pull you want on it. Oh, I haven't got zipper pulls out. This is the wide zebra with the black teeth. This tape, this zipper tape, goes with nearly anything. I use it so much. And the wide zebra with, or the colour wide zebra. Okay. So which ones do I want with the snack? We've got a brown snack, which I think can go with a dark one. So I just want to cover my tape with that. Now I do both sides at once. Make sure it's up the right way because these are slightly not square. Just because of the way I've done them. And line up. Don't do that because it pulls it off. Line it up with the other side. Looks a bit longer. Okay, that's one done. Let's go with the snack one with the gold. So in talking to the people I bought this vinyl off, they said it can definitely be used with food, so I don't know if that means it's food safe or whether... I know they sell it for tablecloths for grazing tables which has food all over it, so I'd like to think it's food safe. Oops, it's got dust all over it. However, when I sell snack ones, I do put a note on it that it is preferred to be used for wrapped snacks or and a wide zebra. So drop down a little bit at that end. The next thing I do is put a wider double-sided tape on the back of, this is basically binding for the zip. It is purely to hide the zip and to look cool. And 2 more sets to go. The machine does not always like the double-sided tape, so we'll see how it goes with this one because this is going to be in my seam allowance. You can use a narrower one so it's not in your seam allowance. However, I don't have much left of the 3mm, so I'm going to use the 1/4 inch for this. ones do we want to do with pink? Maybe that one would look quite cool with pink. Yes, I think so. Now we want to just line that so it kind of covers the edge and comes down past the zip on the other side. So you can see it like that. It's covering the edge of the zip and it's covering the zip inside. Find it easier if you side onto the... let's not do that. And we'll do a snack one with a pink, shall we? Which one should we do in pink? Okay, let's do a snack and a pink one on the snack. Right. As you can see, I kind of make this up as I go. I think this blue looks cool with the jester. So we'll leave that on there. I think sometimes just a colourful fun zip makes such a difference to a project. So do we want pink or blue on that one? I think pink. We'll put the blue on that one. So we trim all the ends off later so they're fine the way they are. Let's not do that. Let's do this slightly up. So I don't put my pulls on yet, I do my sewing. So I've got my stitch length on just above a 4, maybe I'll go to 4.5. So what we're going to do now is sew down either side of the binding strips. I try to keep it fairly close, but about 1/8 of an inch. So keep those out of the way. And when I get down to this end, I back stitch and then just open it up. I don't cut it off. And just turn it around like that. Then you just have to cut your two ends off because the rest will be cut off when you trim. Just watch it doesn't slip off. Mine's slipped right down into the corner there, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. Has come around into my, it's got a needle positioner on it, and I just kick the front of my pedal and the chair leg is in the way. Like the last one. Everything's in the way. Clean up all our ends. And cut our zipper tape down a bit. I'll seal all that later. I'm using the wrong scissors. Now I'll put our zipper pulls on, so we want two black and two silver maybe. Two black, two silver, two gunmetal and two silver. Now because I want mine opening to the right, I want to put it on from the right side. through. And number 4. Okay. So now we want to got all our zips on them, put them right sides together and line up the bottom. Now, because I'm just using completely clear, this is not the easiest to see. And we want to cut our square. I like to cut my square now before I sew it. You just have to make sure you sew it nice and even. Okay, so that feels, and that one's a little bit uneven. There's always one in every batch that causes a problem. Okay, cut on our lines. So I'll trim that after I sew it. So if you haven't sewn on clear before, I did need to tighten up my tension quite a bit to get it to sit well. And you don't want too small a stitch length. Okay. So what we want to do now, let's start from this edge. We want to sew down there. Now I double over my zip end, and then when we get to here, we just want to come in ever so slightly, just so that we get a nice neat end here. So once you come here, just sort of swivel it round slightly. I like to sew it from the same end. Then we want to sew along the bottom at the same amounts. While you've got hold of it, I don't like to use that to cut my zip my good scissors. Trim your vinyl on the corner and trim your seams slightly. I'm going to cut my zip now with my good scissors. It's not got a zip. I do have scissors for this, that's not them. Okay, so because we've done that, we want to give that a really good melt from the back so that we're not melting the vinyl. And do your ends if you want to, just keep your lighter away from the vinyl. Again, I'm sewing at 1/4 of an inch, or I'm going to run these together. And along the bottoms. So tidy up your ends, come in from that corner and trim your seams down. I try and sew fairly closely to the end so there's not too much to trim off. Because what I do here is I just take a running stitch over the very end of my zipper tape. Just at the very edge, just to keep it from throwing out more. Like that, so it's just got a reinforcing stitch on the end of your tape. Don't forget to melt it. Okay, where did that end? That one's melted, that one's melted. Did we do? We didn't double over that one. And the last one. Trim that up a bit. Now we've got to open our zip, split that out. So we want to get our corners and give them a good pinch like that, just so they meet and give them a good pinch. So we want to nest our seams. So that's one going one way and one the other. And I double back over the seam. Same with the other side. Just get your very peaks, fold them like that, and give it a bit of a pull. Now make sure that seam is lying the same way. As you get a funny little bit behind. A bit of a trim. I don't like cottons on the inside because it looks all messy. But that's that one finished. Again, open our zip. Get your very peaks of your thing and give it a bit of a tug. And you hope it doesn't stick to the bit it isn't meant to. Trim if you need to. I've got a little bit of pen still on the inside of that one, so I'll trim that off. Corners are okay. So just pinch your corners, give it a tug, and it should line up if you've got it in the right place. Pen off, because you can't see the pen line because it's clear. One finished. Corner, corner, and pull. Make sure that's going the same way, which is that way. And one more. And get covered with bits of it. Doing that, that seam should line up. Right, so I get my finger in there, push that over, and just push a little bit like that. My fingernail over the seam and just push a bit through. And do the same with the other bit. Fingernail through. And you can just feel it pop through into the other side once it's like that. And just push it gently through. When you've got the vinyl on here, I always worry whether it's going to mess the vinyl up, but it doesn't. And the same, put your finger in there and put it through and just push your fingernail out. A little bit more difficult when you've got the zipper pull in your way. And that's one. Let's tidy up any ends, because as you can see, you can see any messy ends in there. Double check you've done your melted your zipper tape. Fold it over, and you can feel it pop. Now, if you need to heat your vinyl up a little bit to turn them, I suggest using a hairdryer, but on very low heat. You do not want to be warping your vinyl. Oops, that out of here, finger in there. And push it till it sort of pops. And normally when I batch sew my bags, I usually do about 6 to 10. But I'm doing so many different sizes of these, I thought we'll just do 4 today. That all looks tidy. That could do with another bit of a melt. With the heat coming from this light I've got on, I would have thought this should be quite soft. I bought some gorgeous holograph type clear vinyl the other day, and it's obviously not just clear vinyl, it's a bit thick. It does not turn well at all. It marks and it creases and it bows and it buckles. Very disappointing because it looks gorgeous made up. Finger in there. Give those a bit of a press. And the last one. Everything looks like it's nice and neat. This is quite a workout for your fingers. I find I go with a light grey cotton or a light brown because it actually matches the ends of the vinyl, so it just looks like it's the same colour. So if you've got any little ends of zips, always keep them because the smaller version of this is a great way of using your fancy little ends of zips. Do not throw them out. There's always something you can do with them. I might have to get my scissors gently in there then, just gently, don't over push it. These the cutest. So that is our 4 possibility pouches by Cherishing Today. That's such a cool little pattern, and you can make it in so many different ways. You could put little D-rings in the side and make that, put a little strap on it. You could do all sorts. So this is between the medium size and the tiny little snack one, and there's 2 bigger sizes which are very cute.